Hey ladies, Coach Scott Abel here, author of the book The Empowered Woman Experience and the course The Empowered Woman Experience. And I just want to talk to you a little bit about today the subject of unrealistic expectations, choosing goals that are unrealistic, and what that leads to. I take the more Zen approach, the more uncommon, the road less traveled approach to helping ladies with your issues, because if you think of the reason you want to lose weight, that's not the goal in itself. It's the feelings that you think losing weight is going to bring to you is the reason you want to lose weight to begin with. So a lot of these things, you buy into the North American promises and you set goals, then you think that along the way everything should go smoothly, and that's one of the traps of choosing to focus only on the end result and not valuing the process along the way. So the desire and the expectation that because you have a diet or a program laid out in front of you that everything is just going to run smoothly, that's a false ideal. That's a false idea. And what that leads to is it leads to self-measuring. It leads to self-judgment. It leads to now putting everything in a nice little box that if it isn't running smoothly, you start measuring yourself against that. And that leads to perfectionism, and that leads to self-sabotage. Once you do that, you start judging yourself by all the mistakes you're making and holding yourself accountable to a level of perfection that's unrealistic. And so that's where you tend to sabotage yourself and or quit something that you know you actually want to do. So the other thing about that is your desire and expectation for everything to run smoothly and to base yourself in perfectionism of following something is that in and of itself creates roadblocks to your own ability to solve problems. So you should expect shortfalls, you should expect obstacles, you should expect slip-ups and trip-ups. And along the way, that's how you learn and grow. But if you start with the end result being everything and the desire for everything to run smoothly along the way, you set yourself up for self-measurement and self-judgment within the process. That produces a ton of psychological pressure, and your mind always seeks to be relieved of that kind of psychological pressure. Your mind doesn't thrive on that. As a matter of fact, it contracts on that. So a lot of the things that you've been told about not wanting it bad enough and all these things in the fitness industry and the diet industry, if you fail, are just untrue. But the fact that it sets up self-measurement and self-judgment creates so much self-sabotage in you that you end up in the usual cycle of stop and start, start and quit, and then repeat again, only repeating the same thing and expecting a different result. Once again, it's the mindset that is the problem. As I always say, you have a thinking and feeling problem about your body and about weight and weight loss and weight gain, things like that. And that's what we try to correct, the mindset behind the behavior. If you think just changing your behavior will change your mind, chances are you've been slamming your head against that wall for a long time. The other thing this leads to is what we see in the modern North American experience, and that is commitment crashing. And what we mean there is along the lines of a New Year's Eve resolution. What we see is that people tend to be committed, whether it's 12-week transformation programs or Jenny Craig or whatever you want to say. People tend to have a short-term commitment, 6 to 8 weeks, before they fall off and quit or sabotage themselves in a way that they don't want to face. And this is because the mindset is so self-sabotaging. When you set up a mindset of unrealistic expectations and a desire to everything to run smoothly, and you set up that self-measuring, self-judging mindset, your mind will want to release from that. So it's not a way to go about reaching your goal. And if you do find that you eventually reach your goal, it will be so mentally, emotionally exhausting to get there that you won't sustain it anyway, and you become what I call a weight loss tourist. So I take the Zen approach, the road less traveled approach, and this is what we discuss in the Empowered Woman Experience: how to change your mind in order to change your behavior, and how to stop these short cycles of commitment, quit, commitment, quit, commitment, quit. And that's the kind of thing you'll find in the Empowered Woman Experience. changing your mind to change your behavior, and not the North American promise of the opposite, that if you just change your behavior, then your mind will come along for the ride. Which, as you know, if you're a lady who struggles with weight, body image, or food, you've already been trying that equation for umpteenth months or years, and it's never worked for you. So time to get real about getting real. When you commit to a goal and you create this desire or expectation for everything to run smoothly along the way, you set yourself up for self-judgment, self-measurement, and your mind will always seek relief from that. And it's not a way to build resilience. It's resilience that is sustainable and leads you to your goal. So things to think about, and hopefully I'll see you inside the Empowered Woman Experience.